Guys, welcome to What's Barking Local. My name is Jerry Miller, soon to come Pattie Boden, the owner of Animal Connection, and Angie Gunter, the executive director of the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. This show, super exciting, Pattie Boden's brainchild. In fact, why don't we go to the group shot now, Harris, put a little pressure on you and welcome Pattie and Angie to the mix. You guys are on camera. This is her brainchild, and you know what? The first person she said was Angie Gunter, Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. Yep. Question for you then.
Yeah.
Why Angie Gunter of the SPCA is our first guest?
She's got the hardest job in Charlottesville. She has to make things approachable for people, make dogs feel comfortable, find dogs and cats homes. She's got the hardest job in Charlottesville, so let's honor it.
Okay, we'll throw it to Angie.
Yeah.
And guys, as we expand the set, we're going to add more cameras and more mics here. So we're going to get you a slide here. And she says the hardest job in Charlottesville, maybe also the most rewarding job in Charlottesville. Put that in perspective.
You know what? I feel like I do have the best job in Charlottesville. I feel so grateful to be in this position. Animals are my greatest passion, so I just feel so fortunate. And Pattie, yeah, it's tough at times, right? So it can be a tough job trying to keep everyone happy and always do what's right for the animals, but I absolutely love it. And this community is so amazing. So I'm really lucky to be able to be in Charlottesville and have this passion for animals. I can't think of a better place to be.
I can so tell.
Yeah.
And one of the things that's awesome about these ladies here is the positive energy radiates off them, and then I get jacked from their positivity. Well, thanks some people for joining us, and then I'll throw the question to you if you want to get your mic ready to go. Emily Lenz, Alex Tiscornia, Bobby Kirby, April Ward, Danny Hastings, Michael Buchensky, Gilly Garth, Ray Cadell, Anja Andalek, John Gilmore, Tim Ryan. I mean, I'm not going to be able to get to all you guys, but I'm truly grateful for you guys tuning into the show. What I'd like for you to do is to like and share the stream so we could put the positive spotlight on animals here in Central Virginia. Pattie Boden, talk to me about this. The SPCA and the importance to you personally. You started your business when your Chesapeake Bay Retriever got a little sick, and you changed his diet to a raw food diet. Ernie. Yep. And he lived longer than professionals anticipated. So animals clearly mean so much to you. Talk to me about this.
Well, the whole point of it is, people put their heart and soul into their animals, and when you invite an adopted animal to your house, there's so many things that the SPCA can teach you to do to make it an easy transition for your family and for animals. Because as much as they like the dogs that they send out, they really don't want them to come back. They want them to be with your family for a long, long time. So, anything we do to help that transition is just great. And the SPCA works really, really hard to educate and to do training and to teach people how to feed them better so they will be a long-lasting family member.
Thank you, Danny Hastings in Scottsville, for sharing the feed. Thank you for Anja Andalek from Fig on the UVA Corner, the restaurant, for sharing the feed. I got a question for Pattie Boden already. Pattie, I'm interested in grooming. First, I got to ask, do you do any free grooming sessions so we can try you out? I'm also interested in your self-serve dog wash. That is from Maura Elizabeth, who's jumping in with the question. Pattie, that's for you.
All right. Well, in the self-serve dog wash, we do provide some instruction about, people sometimes don't even know how to wash their dog. So we go through the steps of how to get a better dog wash. We show people different brushes and combs that we provide for them to use so they can really get the hair out, get their dog cleaner. So we instruct them that way so they can get their money's worth out of their self-serve time. Occasionally, provided the dog is attentive or not afraid, when we do grooming, we will take someone back and say, hey, here's how to take care of your dog in between grooming sessions. This is the right tools for you to use. These are a few little tips and techniques you can use. And, anything we can do to make it easier between the first grooming and the next grooming, we're going to sure do it.
What's Barking Local looking very good across 7 channels on the I Love CVille Network. Roger Crawdaddy Crawford, thank you for joining us. Matt Toronto, thank you for joining us.
Hey, Matt.
People across Central Virginia. Let's slide it to Angie.
Yeah.
Angie Gunter, the Executive Director of the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA, one of the truly great people in Central Virginia that are making our community a better place. A question that we had come in before the show, and let me get the exact question here. Melody Robbins wants to know, Angie, could you introduce us to what your everyday is like? I see you on the news. I see you on social media. It seems like you're doing quite a bit every single day. What is your day like?
So my day is always different, just like I'm here today. So I wake up just not knowing what to expect. I have a day planned, and I have to be willing just to go with it. It depends on, particularly if something comes up for an animal. Like an animal's need always comes first, and of course our staff. So it's just always changing. Tuesdays seem to be my day. I try to set aside to have meetings at the shelter. So I always try to take Tuesdays to do that. But sometimes that doesn't even work out. But it's just always whatever the need is for a specific animal.
Do you like it? Does it
I love it.
You do love it? Talk to me about that.
I just love it. I love things being different every day. I mean, no day is the same for me. So some days it's harder than others. It can be challenging at times, but more often than not, it's very uplifting, and I like the challenges thrown at me.
I love it too.
Yeah.
I love it too. Lee Capshaw, thank you for joining us. John Updike, thank you for joining us. Grace Australia, thank you for joining us. Like and share the feed. We're putting a positive spotlight on animals in Charlottesville and across Central Virginia. I think we have this all in common. I'll throw this to you. The sitting at a desk from an 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. And we're not marginalizing. It's for some people, but it would drive us crazy, right? Talk to me about that, Pattie.
No way. Well, I used to be an ad agency owner, and even that was by the seat of your pants at sometimes. But you were expected to be at a desk, 7 o'clock till maybe, 8 or 9 o'clock at night. I mean, that's what people expected of you. But this type of thing, like what Angie does and what I do, I mean, you just never know. I mean, you never know who's going to walk in the door, what kind of problems they're going to have, whether they're going to bring a fun dog in for you to play with or a cat, or you just, it's the not knowing, like Angie said, that makes it just gives you on the seat of your chair.
Yeah? Talk to me about that, Angie Gunter. Let me throw that to you as well right there.
Oh, man, that's a tough one. So I'm always on the seat of my chair. There's always something new and different coming into the SPCA. So, I mean, it's more good than positive. So I'm going to talk about something positive. I heard from a volunteer today that used to, help out at the shelter, and she was a dog walker, and said, hey, I've decided that I want to come back. So she's coming back. So that's new cool and exciting just to get that email. In general, though, it's usually the animals that come in that make it exciting. It's mostly positive, but sometimes we have some tough cases. So it's always good when we've been able to go down to, we went to Farmville last week and helped them out with a surrender situation of 19 dogs and brought back some amazing dogs that some of them were emaciated, and they're already doing so much better at our shelter. So that was a phone call that morning saying, hey, I'm desperate. I really need help today. This just happened. So that's what I mean by it's always different. But it's such a good feeling to know that you can help.
As the executive director of the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA, it seems like your day is like almost like an entrepreneur's day.
It is.
Where if, like with me, I constantly have to respond and react to what's going on, putting out fires, celebrating clients, putting the good word out, whatever it may be.
Sure.
Sounds like your day.
That is my day. I mean, that's essentially my day. I hear from news media. I think that was one of your questions. Hey, can we stop by and do an interview or come look at some animals? Sure, come on over. I mean, we're very welcoming and open, so we like anyone to come in anytime they want.
And one more follow-up, and then we'll throw it back to Pattie. One of the things that I love that I've seen from you as the executive director, and I know it's a teamwork, it's a team effort. You have a lot of people on your team that are doing very good things. But one of the things I've seen with you is since you've become executive director, you've taken the brand to another level. I'm seeing the brand more mainstream. I'm seeing more events. I'm seeing the brand more in the news cycle. I'm seeing more positivity with the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. How have you done this? And please put it in perspective for everyone.
So really, for me, it is the team. We have such an amazing staff, and it's always just when you're hiring, trying to find people that believe in the mission and in what we're doing and that have the right skill set. But there are so many wonderful people at that shelter. So it's really not me. I have a vision for the shelter, but it's the staff that's making that happen. And I have a great marketing person, and she's solo, doing this all on her own.
Unbelievable.
So it's pretty amazing.
Unbelievable.
And then I have a couple of folks that do the events. So they're doing just an amazing job. And goodness, I mean, the animal care staff, clinic, everyone's just so incredible. So it's the staff. It's having a vision and everyone coming together.
Great answer. Let's sizzle reel that answer. Harris Tolber, our director. Judah Wickower, are we sounding good over there? Judah Wickower says good. What have you seen? 17 years running your business. What have you seen for the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA since Angie's taken over?
Well, I just wanted to say something about the events, because back in the day, it was just, the perception was, you had to have a mink coat and pearls to be able to participate in some of the SPCA events. That is so not true. There is something for everybody. I mean, whether you're, from all walks of life, and everyone can make a difference. Everyone can have fun. You can participate. If you don't have a dog or a cat, there's so many things you can do to just enjoy animals, and it's for all walks of life. And that's about, a lot of that is due to you. I mean, you have made things very accessible.
They've been approachable.
Right.
Yeah.
It's very much more approachable than it used to be.
And that was the
17 years ago.
That was the game plan for you and what you've done with your marquee event, Dogfest.
Well,
approachability,
I guess.
Fun for everybody. Get
that's
as
right.
many people involved as possible. Talk to me about that.
Well, we tried to bring in not just the rescue groups, but all kinds of dog services. I mean, from everything from a bakery to dog walkers to someone that makes pet sympathy candles. I mean, whatever it is that's local around here, excuse me, that people can enjoy. We want to feature it at Dogfest. I mean, if it relates to pets, that's the place to be.
Like it. Bethany Halchins, thank you for watching. Rachel Barnett, thank you for watching. Grace just loved that answer and is triple tapping the heart on Pattie Boden's answer right there. John Gilmore, thank you for watching. Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. I'm going to throw this to you, Angie Gunter. And next time you guys see us on What's Barking Local, there's going to be a mic and 2 more cameras in the mix, so we're improving the network constantly. Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA, its footprint, its reach, who it services. I think oftentimes it's like, oh, that's the Charlottesville SPCA. The reality is this is a Central Virginia nonprofit that has a massive footprint. If you could educate us, that would be huge.
So I think the biggest confusion with the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA is we're a private and a public shelter. So every municipality, and I'm not going to get too technical here, but everyone in Virginia is required to have a pound, if you will. So we serve as both the private and public shelter. We serve as the pound for both the city of Charlottesville and Albemarle County, as well as being a private shelter. So it's really impressive what, prior to me, that Suzanne Kogut was able to do with making this a no-kill community, not just a shelter. So that, to me, that's just incredible what happened. So we're trying to expand that and help other localities. But we do have a big footprint, to your point. I mean, we service all of Albemarle County, all of Charlottesville, and we also help other neighboring communities.
You are a popular gal here, Angie, and you have a question coming in from the kitchen at Red Pump Kitchen.
Okay.
They're currently watching us in the back of the house at Red Pump Kitchen. Lynn Easton, who is the owner of Red.
Lynn Easton.
Yeah, okay, talk to me about that. Maybe this is Lynn right here.
Oh, man. I mean, so let me they have been wonderful to us. Lynn and Dean, we've had Critter Ball there the past couple of years, and they have just been amazing advocates and sponsors for us, even helping us elevate our Critter Ball, which is our biggest fundraiser of the year. Pattie, to your point, we try to do lots of things to involve everyone in the community, but they have been amazing to us and have sponsored Critter Ball for
let's
us.
Let's give Angie some props there. Turn that into a sizzle reel so we can syndicate that sizzle reel and give Pippin Hill and Lyd and Dean some props
Absolutely.
For their ties to the SPCA. The question coming in from Red Pump Kitchen, maybe it's them, I have no idea.
If it's not, I still stand by what I said.
The question is, what is the hardest part, perhaps, of your job?
Well, it's always hard to, and I have to learn this, just trying to keep everyone happy, just the different personalities. Folks in animal welfare are extremely passionate and at times emotional. So it's trying to put yourself in their shoes when they're upset about something. So I would say that's the most challenging part of my job, which is good that that's the most challenging
without
part
question.
because I can handle that.
Yeah, you can handle that, no problem.
They can beat up on me when they're upset about something,
And if
you know?
anyone is beating up on Angie, you have me to answer too, okay?
Thank you.
Leave this lady alone. Let me throw this to Pattie Boden. It's the two-part of the red pump question. What is the hardest part of your job as an entrepreneur and businesswoman?
Oh, wow. Well, I would say, I guess the big word would be boundaries.
Okay.
And sometimes you can tell by the way people walk in, maybe with their families, what kind of problems they have with their dogs. And so being tactful enough to say, maybe you could try this and this and this with your dog, and the whole time you're going to go, oh my gosh, maybe that would apply. I mean, I ride horses, and I work with people sometimes the way I work with horses. You know, notice the smallest try, reward a try, decide what you want, and stick within a parameter, and stick with it, and be very consistent every single time. And that's so important with dogs because that's how they remember things, and that's how they know how to please you. And sometimes I find that a lot of times people are bringing dogs in with problems, and sometimes it's the people that are really, the dogs are bringing the people in for help. And, you know, kind of making that distinction and being very diplomatic, but being very positive and finding, you know, always finding something really good to say first about, hey, I noticed that your dog does this. Great, 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 great. Let's try this. Or I see that didn't work so well right now. Let's try this instead. And always finding a positive way to bring a solution to the problem.
I love that.
If you can.
I love that. Keith Smith, thank you for liking the feed in Fluvanna County. We appreciate you, Keith Smith. Meg Taylor in Gordonsville has a question. Let me throw this question from Meg Taylor in Gordonsville about housebreaking her puppy and tips that you can offer for housebreaking. So why don't we start with Pattie and then get Angie's take on housebreaking a puppy. We've all done it. It's not an easy experience.
It's not easy. And our biggest advice is we're fans of crate training. I mean, it's their den. They don't want to mess up in their crates, and so we advise people to, start with a small crate, paper if you need to, and regular schedules, and have one person in the family responsible every single day. When that puppy gets up, take him outside. When he's eating, take him outside, and that way he always has a pack leader to answer to. If you have children in the family that are capable of following those same parameters, great, but usually we recommend that one person in the family be the leader, and then the rest of the people can follow in when they're capable.
I love it. I love it. Sizzle reel that for Pattie. We'll slide in and throw the question to Angie. Before we do, Laura Mulvaney is saying, Pattie Boden, you're doing a great job right now. Laura Mulvaney, thank you for contributing to the program. This show is freaking hot right now, and I love that it's hot right now. Great housebreaking a puppy.
So I want to say, first of all, what Pattie said is absolutely correct. My philosophy on this is come to the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA and adopt a dog that's housebroken, because as a pack leader, dogs love being in a pack, right? Mm-hmm. So you can come to the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA, adopt a dog that's already housebroken that will teach your puppy
love it
how to be housebroken. And frankly, that has been what I've done. Whenever I've had a puppy, my dogs have taught my puppy.
My older dog has taught my younger dogs as well.
Yeah.
Let me throw the older dog piece to you. And April Dent Ward, thank you for sharing the feed. We appreciate you, April Dent Ward. The puppies have no problem getting adopted.
They don't.
I mean, they go quickly.
I mean, we can't keep them.
You can't keep them.
No.
Right. The demand is ridiculous.
It is.
Talk to me about the middle-aged and older dogs here.
So the middle-aged and older dogs is much more difficult for us. It's getting better because we're trying to do much more with promoting these dogs. And we have cats, too. Like, I don't just want to focus on dogs here because it's the same.
Sure.
What's purring local. Like, it's the cats and dogs. It's the same. So we're trying to do more to promote them, and frankly, if it were me, well, it is me. I mean, I would adopt an older dog. It's easier. Most of them are already, what they're going to be doing, their temperament, and they're housebroken oftentimes. They've been with us. We are trying to, one of our initiatives is to try and reduce length of stay for these older dogs. So we're doing things like Fido's field trips, and we're recruiting volunteers for that. We just had Maddie's Fund here giving a big lecture to folks across the country at other shelters how to do this, but taking dogs out for walks every day and or coming, to do a sleepover, taking the dog for a sleepover. So short-term fostering so we can learn more about the dogs, and it's helping with their adoptions. Their length of stay right now is about 26 days, I believe.
Is that
for the older dogs?
Good, bad,
That's great.
national average?
That's
It's great.
It's great.
Yeah.
But I want it to be much better.
Because you're a competitive person, and you
Yes.
want the best for
I
the
am a
animals all the
competitive
time.
person.
I know you're very competitive. She might be slight, but she's full of fight, baby. How about the length of stay for the younger dogs? Is it
Oh my God.
Is it less?
It's ridiculous.
Is it?
Yeah. I mean, the only thing that makes their length of stay higher, which I don't even think we can look at statistically, is they're in foster. And sometimes the fosters want to hold on to them a little bit longer. But no, I mean, most of the time the puppies go to foster and they never come back to our shelter because our fosters are so amazing that they get them adopted long before they come back to the shelter.
I love it. Teresa Davis at Front Runner Signs just shared the stream. Front Runner Signs did this beautiful cutout of the one and only Pattie Boden. Let's slide the and your selfie station. Let's talk about that here, Pattie. Put that in perspective what we're doing here with the selfie station and
Thanks,
the
Teresa.
She's watching right now.
Well, we started the selfie station. In fact, we launched it today, and what we're asking people to do is, come to Animal Connection, have your picture taken with yours truly, the big cutout over there, and we're giving you something cool. Today we were giving away Valentine's dog treats. Who knows what it'll be tomorrow? And so when you come in, you like and share and check in on Facebook that you were at Animal Connection, and we'll take your picture and we'll post it. And it's been fun already, and we just got started today.
I must say it was a brilliant idea.
It was.
Pattie wrote it. It was her idea. It was a brilliant idea. Nora.
It was not mine.
Okay.
We'll share it.
I might have had something to do with it. Nora Allie Gaffney, thank you for joining us and for liking this feed. Jared Zeinberger, thank you for liking and sharing this feed. Guys, we are totally onto something right here. And I think what it is, and let's throw this to Angie, I think what it is like our Central Virginia, our Charlottesville community, our Outer County community. Jadis Cavanaugh, thank you for watching. Mike Shaver, thank you for watching. Live television at its finest.
This is great.
Anything that makes it more fun. I can tell you're having fun. Michael Guthrie, thank you for
right.
watching.
I don't want to
Yeah, oh my gosh. What, you didn't like seeing Adam Levine with his shirt off?
Yes.
Okay, Angie said, let's break some more of it. What did you think, Angie, about Adam Levine? Okay,
no comment.
I'm just joking.
Right? I mean,
jeez. You guys are making my day here. Let me throw this to you here. Why don't you celebrate and champion the people that celebrate and support the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA?
Say that one more time, Jerry.
Celebrate the people that are supporting you.
Gosh, I mean,
businesses, individuals. I know this is a tough question.
It is a tough question because there's so many that it's hard for me just to name a few.
Sure.
I mean, I've already thrown out Pippin Hill here at Lynn and Dean, and already we've got the big event we have coming up, Pattie, is, as you know, is Bow Wow Walk. You'll be there. Pattie's loyal. She's always there.
She's awesome.
So it's going to be at Ix Park. So our lead sponsors for that are Virginia National Bank and Crutchfield. So always grateful because they continually are helping us. Pattie always helps us with that as well. So there's so many people and businesses that help us. It's really hard for me just to pinpoint a few. Jerry, I'm sorry that I'm probably It's so difficult to just.
And even the ones that aren't able to come to the events, maybe they don't have enough staff or whatever, they always say, when someone says, where can I find a great dog? Boom. They're going to send them to you. I mean, you have supporters here that are not always involved in the events, but I mean, it's a
Absolutely.
loyalty thing.
Yeah. How about and we'll throw it to Angie here. How about the pressure, okay? This is the pressure of being the executive director, the head honcho, numero uno, at a brand like
Well,
the
do you want to
SPCA.
make me nervous right now? What's happening?
I have a feeling you're going to kill it here. The pressure that you feel at all with leading such an incredible organization. I mean, is it motivating?
You just said,
is it influencing? I mean,
it's just so motivating.
Yeah.
Again, my greatest passion is animal welfare. So I feel, and I mean that, I feel so fortunate to be in this role. And I realize how lucky I am. with folks like Pattie that support the SPCA, we just have, this is such an amazing community. And I'm going to say that over and over again. I have wonderful staff, dedicated volunteers. Good grief, we couldn't do half of what we do without our volunteers. So I'm just really grateful for,
I love it.
For what I have.
You're
I know that I'm lucky.
Yeah.
I know that there's, you look at these other communities, like we do a lot. We're trying to help other organizations through grant money we get. Buckingham County is one of them, and the animal control officers, they have a pound. They are just fantastic people, and they have a few volunteers that help them, and they're making a difference. But it's just amazing to work with folks like that, but then realize how fortunate I am to be in Charlottesville. So this isn't really about me. It's about this community that supports us. For January, our adoptions in the month of January were 281.
Get out
That's
of
the highest
town.
they've been. So last year, they were 180. So that's like a 56%
That's
increase.
serious.
I love numbers, Jerry.
Yeah, I can tell. And I love numbers, too.
I love metrics.
Yeah,
I love
me
numbers.
too.
So, it's just amazing what this community does.
Wow.
So, and I recognize that, and I know that it's not about me.
What do you attribute the growth to, besides the fantastic team in place? What do you attribute this massive
I think
success to?
there's better marketing. You guys have me here today to
Yeah.
talk about the animals, so thank you very much.
Our pleasure.
I think that helps. I do. I think there's just more publicity about the shelter, if you will. But I think what Pattie said, which is one of the things that I've really wanted to do, and I was so grateful when you said that, is just being more open to everyone in the community, being more accessible and welcoming. And if you walk into our shelter, I would be shocked if someone said they didn't feel welcomed. Maybe there's a time or two. I'm not sure if someone's having a bad day. But in general, I do feel like that we just want people to feel welcomed. And we want folks to adopt animals. So we try to work with you as best we can.
I'm going to throw this to you, the same question. What is attributed from your standpoint? You're an entrepreneur, you're a businesswoman, you study the market very well, you understand what's going on. What's attributed to the success that you've seen? Before I do, I need to give some props to some people.
Okay.
Bailey, your girl, Bailey. She says, I'm watching from Animal Connection. You guys sound great. Bailey, love some Bailey on this program right here. Lawrence Howard, thank you for watching. Michael Guthrie over at, he's in Richmond right now watching. We have somebody watching right now, Matt Toronto from Long Island. This shows you the power
Long
of
Island.
this. This, guys, is not the future.
I love
this
it.
This is the present. If you're not leveraging this correctly, you are losing the battle
All
here.
right.
What are you seeing? What are you seeing that she's doing so well? What the team is doing so well?
What the
SPCA.
Yes. Well, as I said before, it's just a community outreach and the accessibility and the events. Like I say, there are so many more fun events, and just getting out there. And we can't wait for the Bow Wow Walk. That is a fun day. And people will come and meet all different kinds of people that do things for dogs in the community, and they'll see other rescue groups because they're very generous about inviting some of the smaller groups to come and participate. And who wouldn't want to go on a walk with how many hundred dogs?
It was 400.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to do that on a Saturday morning? That's really fun.
I love
That's
it.
great.
And you, because you've built a business serving this wonderful community. And you've built a successful business, just an incredibly giving business. This community, I feel like, not only embraces dogs, cats, horses, animals of all kind, but even if they don't have one, they're so welcoming to dogs,
Right.
cats. And a perfect example, and I'm going to throw it to you, is the number of businesses in Charlottesville and Central Virginia that are welcoming. Businesses that
Yeah.
you've seen of animals. Put that in perspective for us.
That's true. Especially with the downtown businesses and then some of the restaurants around where you can go and bring your dog and sit out on the outside. Now, I do wish the powers that be would allow dogs into restaurants. When I go to England every once in a while, dogs are allowed in. They're allowed to go into pubs. Who wouldn't love a good pub dog? They're all well behaved. I noticed when I was in Seattle over the weekend, there were dogs in all the restaurants. There were dogs in the farmers markets. I get it. I get that the health department has, got
strict rules.
Right.
Yeah.
But all in all, if people are willing to take a gamble and bringing their dog into a public place, we're pretty sure that those dogs are going to be well behaved, and it would just be nice. There is one place where I go.
Dirty Nellies!
Nellies!
Let's
Right.
get some props. Talk to me about Dirty Nellies.
You can go there in the afternoons, and you might see your dog sleeping by the fireplace. That's so great. But there needs to be more of that. Maybe it's a limited basis. Maybe it's just like we're going to allow 3 dogs in, today. That's it. That's the ticket. And just I wish the community, the food and the hospitality industry was more open to that.
I think that's good. Sizzle reel
it'd be
that,
nice.
baby. Sizzle reel that.
Yeah.
Guys, we have filled 40 minutes, and it's felt like 4 minutes here on the I Love C, or excuse me, What's Barking Local with Pattie Boden and our special guest, Angie Gunter, the executive director. Let's thank some people. Jeff Clore, thank you for watching us. Tim Hegmeyer, if I messed up your last name, Tim, thank you very much for watching us. Folks on the Animal Connection page watching right now, and thank you for tuning in. We're live on 7 channels across the I Love CVille Network. Here's how we close, and we're going to turn these into highlight reels, sizzle reels. Since she has the mic, we'll throw it to her first.
Okay.
What can we expect that's new, that's upcoming, that's on the calendar at Animal Connection? Cool things that we can be involved in, anything that you want to hype or highlight with AC on the docket around the horizon.
Well, we're having a big Valentine's Day event this weekend. We are doing pet portraits by Petography CVille. We have the most gorgeous decorated dog treats I have ever seen, and I'm just pleased to offer. And we'll have those available. We're going to have goodies for the people that are bringing their dogs, and it's going to be a fun day. And we've got a lot of other surprises coming up in March and April, and we're already starting to plan Dog Fest. So if you don't have the last Sunday in September marked on your calendar, you better do it now, because it is going to be epic. It's going to be fun.
Sizzle reel that. Harris Tolber, if you could. When you see Pattie Boden walking around town, give her some props, because she's doing some big-time stuff for the animal community in Charlottesville and Central Virginia, as is this beautiful lady, Angie Gunter. What is on the docket? What is on the horizon for the SPCA in the near future?
So weekly we have give back events, and that's the shout out to the businesses too that help us so much. So take a look at our weekly give backs where you can wine and dine and proceeds come to the SPCA. The big event, which I've already mentioned, that I really hope folks participate in, is Bow Wow Walk, and that's happening April the 6th. It's a fun event. It's wonderful, and our goal is $120,000. And if you think about it, our cost of care is $20 a day. And I'm very proud, Jerry. The last thing we did, I said it was $25, so I got the cost down.
Nice, Angie.
Yeah. So the 2018 cost of care is $20 a day to care for an animal. So if we reach our goal, that's 6,000 animals that we touch. And I will say we do our very best to make sure every dime goes outside of just general operational costs to the animals. We do a lot for animals, so please come out and support Bow Wow Walk. Register, visit our website. But that's the new big event.
Right.
We're always doing transports from other shelters, and that's also one of the things that I'm very passionate about is the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA became no-kill under Suzanne Kogut, but it's also because that so many shelters, due to her leadership, were willing to help us out and take animals when we didn't have space. So we're trying to pay it forward and help these other shelters. So that's always something. So stay tuned for us being on a transport and bringing animals back. So come adopt.
She is crushing it. Her team is crushing it.
The team is crushing it.
The
team is crushing it. It included volunteers.
Including volunteers. The
and
business
our community
and the volunteers are supporting the SPCA.
Yes.
Guys, when you adopt a dog, perhaps that's middle-aged or older
and
in
a
life.
cat.
And
a cat. Please don't forget our cats.
Do the cats not go as fast as the dogs?
No, absolutely. They don't.
They
do
don't?
not. The
Why?
dogs
Is it just
go
because
faster.
people are just in love with dogs?
I'm not sure what the answer is to that, because I think there are people that are just in love, just as in love with cats. So I want to make sure that I'm doing my part.
To do both.
To do both. That's one of my goals, is to make sure that I'm doing my part.
I love it. Well, I think you certainly are doing your part.
Thank you.
And you killed this today. This was so easy.
See,
you guys,
this
was so
Yeah.
easy.
There you go.
We are going to do this. I'm going to try to persuade Pattie to do this weekly. I might try to twist your arm in doing that. Maybe we start in 2 weeks, because I think we have so much we can cover, and you and I have a good dynamic.
Right, we're scheduled for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So why don't we do what? Okay.
Right.
You know what? What better way to persuade you than if I'm asking the question in front of 250,000 people? Okay. Pattie Boden, can we do What's Barking Local on a weekly basis, starting the week of February 18th instead of bi-weekly?
Let's do it.
I love it. I knew you were going to say that, Pattie. You're awesome people. It's good stuff. Pattie Boden. Angie Gunter is good good people. Notice what Angie is doing, guys, with putting the brand and the news cycle and on the top of subconsciouses and the tip of people's tongues in Charlottesville and Central Virginia. I think she has done a tremendous job with making the brand even more accessible and approachable, not just in Charlottesville and Albemarle County, but in Central Virginia as a totality. So props to Angie Gunter for that. This show is called What's Barking Local, and the sponsor of this program is Animal Connection, Central Virginia's longest-running all-natural pet store, and we encourage you to support the people who are supporting the animal community, and that's Pattie Boden at Animal Connection. She is doing beautiful, long vision, big time things at Animal Connection. I want to give some thanks to Harris Tolber, to Judah Wickower, to Lauren Linsky for helping produce this show, to Angie Gunter, one of the busiest people in Charlottesville, for giving us 45 minutes of her day. Angie, thank you.
Thank you. And to Jerry Miller.
And to Pattie Boden. And well, you know what? Let's go back to the group shot. I was about to wind this down, but I love you guys so much. No, one of my favorites, we have so much in common. One of my favorite things about what I do, and I think it's what about you do, is human connection.
Yep.
Like my favorite part of the job, and let's throw this back to you guys. My favorite part of the job is talking to people in this fashion. Not even on air.
You're so shy.
Just off air. I love connecting with people. It gets me pumped. Talk to me about that, Pattie.
How shy you are?
No, about human connection, because you love it too.
I kind of do. I don't know any strangers.
Yeah. How about for Angie? Let's slide to the mic and we'll close on that note, because you are so good at it, Angie.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Likeable, very likable.
Oh, thank you. I try to be.
Yeah, well, you're good at it. How about the human connection piece with your gig?
So that's interesting, because one of the things with animal welfare is that I think lacks is the human connection. And my motto is, what I talk to my staff about too, is every animal is connected to a person. So if you love animals and you want to help animals, remember that they must be connected to a person. So I happen to like people too, just by,
I just saw a tear.
Oh, so
Jerry's
good.
crying.
Did you mark that as a sizzle reel, Harris? He did. Look how good he is. He was like, what she's saying is deep and poetic.
No, I'm not trying to be deep and poetic, but I mean that.
Yeah.
I do genuinely like people. I believe in the good in people, and I think that's why we're doing such a good job at the SPCA. And that's just one of the things I try to talk to my staff about, is always think every animal's got to be connected to a human. So that's the connection. And look, I remember having a great time with you guys.
Was that the Three Notch?
Three Notch,
Yeah, it was so
absolutely.
fun.
And I'm grateful to them too. They help us out a lot, and grateful to those guys as well. But that was so fun.
Was it a $2,000 donation?
Yeah.
For the Big Dog Blonde Ale?
Their biggest donation so far.
Their biggest charitable donation in the history of Three Notch charitable donations came from the Big Dog Blonde Ale and Dog Fest. 2 G's to the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. And she just told us $20 to care for an animal.
Absolutely.
So $2,000 is 100 animals for a day?
I mean, that's incredible,
It's
right?
incredible.
It's incredible.
Yeah, and you guys are incredible.
Thank you, Charles.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Definitely.
Drinking beer and saving animals. Oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
So awesome.
It doesn't get better than that.
Dude, this show was fire today. It was hopping. We are going to do this often on the I Love CVille Network. What's Barking Local with Pattie Boden. We're 45 minutes in, Harris. I think that's a wrap right there. I think you have a fantastic show to produce, my friend. Let's thank Pattie Boden. Let's thank Angie Gunter of the Charlottesville-Albemarle SPCA. Thank you for being a part of the show. We enjoy touching base and connecting with you in this forum. We will be back with the I Love CVille show tomorrow at 12:30 with Melissa Closehart, the executive chef at Junction Restaurant. Maybe I could persuade her to cook on the show. Me trying something and her trying something, and then we see what tastes better. Obviously, hers is going to taste better. Guys, I love you guys. We close the show every way. 2 things. Please, Charlottesville and Central Virginia, be good to each other. And please, Charlottesville and Central Virginia, why don't you just embody the golden rule? If we all embody the golden rule, our community is going to be a better place. Those are the 2 things I hope that you truly do with your lives. We'll see you tomorrow at 12:30 on the I Love CVille show. Thank you to Pattie and Angie. Guys, enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, cheers.
So good. That was so good.
It was fun.
Was that fun?
Oh, God, I had so much fun.
So fun.
Yeah.
42 minutes.
Yeah.
42 minutes. It was easy.
It's just like a moment.
Easy.
A fleeting moment in time.
Easy.